Welcome to the show. Welcome to the big show.
Orange and Blue Blood show tonight, Brenden. Orange and Blue Bloods night tonight.
Oh,
okay?
thanks, Captain Obvious. You didn't notice the background is orange.
My shirt is orange.
My shirt is blue.
So therefore, the Orange and Blue Bloods. Where's the blood?
Right here on this logo. Right here. Is it backwards? Am I backwards? I think I'm backwards, Dad.
Yes, you are. I think you are too.
All right. Well, I'll fix that. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm just waiting for everybody to come on. We got one viewer. We're going to have two viewers here in a second. You're on the Buddy Martin show, Orange and Blue Blood section tonight.
Good old Dan Bond's on there. He got a good piece right now on GatorBait on
Dan Bond's joining the show. I feel like while we wait for them to come on, I always feel like that it's a little bit dry. So I think maybe if we played them a little bit of music, it's got everyone excited.
How about the open? That'd be good.
No, it's just like, we kind of like chill out. We got some downtown tempo going here. Yeah. All right. There's 9 people. All right. There we go. Welcome to the show.
Urban show. Urban music. Urban.
It's called the downtown tempo.
Yes.
You're watching to the show tonight, buddy. Who's our guest tonight?
The one and only Ben Troupe, the great tight end. Which, if we had the bite, we'd play it.
I have the bite. Relax.
Ron
with the bite.
Zook talked about all this great stuff, and you lose it. Loren Meadows will be on later. He asked the question of Ron Zook last night. He had glowing things to say about our Ben Troupe. So I can't wait to hear that. Then, of course,
to say about Ben Troupe.
Yes.
Well, all right. Well, that's good,
dude. You got to get up with the times, okay?
All right, dude.
This guy's one of the greats. One of the greats. Ben Troupe.
I happen to be much closer with Ben Troupe than you. Okay. You're going to talk smack about his Braves. You're going to talk smack about his Braves. We all know that. So. He's not going to like you for that, anyways.
I'm sacrificing tonight by listening and doing this show because the Rays are playing the Mariners right now.
Who cares about baseball? It's football season.
That's what I say.
Tennessee.
I don't care about the Rays. I don't care about the Braves. I don't care about any of it because there's a football game on Saturday and a bunch more of them. Listen, you're watching the Buddy Martin show. It's the Orange and Blue Blood section. Give us a like. Smash the subscribe button. Smash it. It's down here somewhere over here. Smash it. Join it. Subscribe it. And also make a comment in the chat. Give us some money. Why not? Hey, give us some money. We're broke. Not going to lie. And you can do that. We might get you to the top of the list tonight because we have lots to discuss with that.
So you can pay your way on. You can pay your way on this show now. I didn't know that.
Oh yes, you can pay your way on this show.
Wow.
Absolutamente. All right, folks, we'll be right back as we play the most famous open in sports, and I fight for this damn rights and copyright on every show, so you better enjoy it.
You made it.
I made it many years ago, and let's see how many of these clips from movies that you can identify. That might be a trivia question one night. Roll the open, Brenden. Okay.
It's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
What if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye!
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
Okay, now we're on, buddy. You can go ahead and talk. Do your thing. I know you always jump. You jump the shark every time. So, all right, you're not talking. Ben Troupe's in the house. What's up, Ben Troupe?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's
up?
84 Reasons podcast, man? Tell me what
I got to go ahead and do this.
All right.
Oh no! I'll see you guys tonight. Good night. Good night.
Shots fired.
Shots
fired.
Good night.
Shots
Good night.
fired.
I'm done.
What?
I'm finished. I'm through.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I look at the half hoodie.
Sacrilegious.
Yes. We are doing it.
We're doing it tonight. That's how we do
at the end, buddy, I'm on it.
Don't even talk to me. Don't even talk.
Now you put some off, Troupe.
No.
And buddy, just for buddy, look. Came straight out the pack.
Oh, snap.
You know what? It's in your contract. You have to wear that Smokey the Bear hat. You don't wear it anymore. It's in your contract.
Snap.
Okay.
It's in your contract.
Just so we know it's close by.
No.
Buddy,
33 home runs.
Break out my race hat.
33 home runs and 63 stolen bases.
Break my race hat out here now.
This is a football show, gentlemen. This is a football show. Gentlemen, keep
Is
it
it
in
my
your
show
pants.
anymore?
Keep it in your pants.
It is your show. It is your show.
All right, listen, Ben Troupe, tell me about 84 Reasons podcast. I don't even. I like the. I actually listened to it for the first time the other day. It's very good. Promote yourself, Ben.
84 Reasons podcast is through Florida Victorious, Florida's NIL platform. And I mean, it's a chance for me to talk to current, former, and future Florida Gators, whether it's players, coaches, parents. And it's been really, really fun. I think the thing that a lot of people hopefully get from our podcast is you're going to learn about guys and gals in a different light. Yeah, we know about what they did during their playing time, but what I appreciate the most, Lorenzo Lingard. I learned about his dad being on dialysis, almost lost him during COVID. And, I learned about Javon Dexter losing his dad like a month before his first game at Florida. Now he's a dad himself. It's so many stories on there. So 84 Reasons. On all, everywhere you can get your podcast. And I was also on YouTube, but no games, no gimmicks, just Reasons, 84 Reasons. And like I said, anything affiliated with Florida, though, players, coaches, people like Buddy, who been talking about Florida. It's anybody. So it's anybody I choose. Nobody's safe. If you root for Florida, played at Florida, love Florida, you got a shot to be on the show.
I've never been on the show. Never been asked to be on the show. Ever, never. No.
Sure, I have no invites on my deal.
Look,
I know you don't like to raise, but you have to discriminate against me because of that. Come on, man.
No. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to where there wasn't no Tampa Bay Rays. And Buddy Martin's going to have to tell us who he rooted for when there was no Rays. Who did he root for when there was no Tampa Bay Rays?
Wade Boggs and the Boston Red Sox.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Wade Boggs. My answer to every baseball trivia question is Wade Boggs.
Hey, you think you are a Braves fan? Who was there whenever Aaron hit his home run to tie it and win and break the record? Who was there?
Who was there? You were there. You were there. No. What I'm saying is, my grandfather growing up, he told me you don't root against. He said, I don't care who you root for. In football, I don't care who you root for in basketball. You do not root against them Braves. And obviously, I'm a long, suffering Falcons and Hawks fan. So I know what fan bases like Detroit and Cleveland. I know what they have to deal with. Tom Brady had a chance to beat him. Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. Anyway, I ain't even going to go into it.
I'm about to round the horn both of you guys and freeze you if you don't shut up about baseball, okay? I'm done with baseball.
I will say this, though.
It's Orange and Blue Blood show. Baseball season's over for the Gators, so I'm done with baseball. So you guys...
Could you just sort of dial it back a second and cut my earring so he can't hear this? I don't want Ben to hear this, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I couldn't do that. Ben's my buddy.
I want to say something.
I want to be on 84 Reasons podcast.
I want to say something good about it, but I don't want him to hear it, okay?
Okay, great.
84 Reasons is a damn good podcast. All right, back to Ben. You didn't hear that.
Okay, well, there you go. Fair enough. All right.
No, I know we about to get into it too. I know we were the first team to jump out there last week. Let me say this before we even get into it, because I got accused of not really, piling on my Gators last week, right? Ben, you didn't really say it. I said, yes, I did. I said you got beat by the 14th ranked team in the country. It wasn't what you wanted. People thought that the biggest advantage we will have is no Cam Rising, no tight end. But people forget, Kingsley did not play. I kept telling people, not having your starting center, that stuff hurts. Because your center don't got to be your best offensive lineman. They got to be your smartest. And I'm not saying that, the freshman that was in there, didn't do his part. It's just, you know how it is, buddy. You can't. Loren said this. He said this last week. Can't run the football. It's going to be a long day. And I'll deal with it. We're gonna get back to the drawing board. But I will say this: Coach Armstrong called a hell of a game. You can say what you want about the opening 70-yard touch. He called a great game. We just came up on the losing end. It happened. Shout out to them Utah boys. They went out there and got it done. But to everybody who's laughing at Florida, please be quiet. Because listen, UCF fans, please. Because somebody gonna say, well, Ben, it's the Big Four now. No, the hell it's not. You got to have tradition to be a part of the Big Three.
All right.
What a tradition. UCF has a fake national championship. A fake one. I'm saying it is not real. Yeah, you went undefeated. Guess what? Auburn went undefeated in 2004. They didn't even go to the
He's preaching now. He's preaching.
Here we go.
I'm just saying,
I help David get out the lion's den. I help Gilligan get off the island.
Is that USF, UCF, FAU, FIU? Listen, I went to UF. You can switch the. I went to
brother,
UF.
Preach,
right?
preach.
Go ahead. Listen. I went to UF. Go ahead and switch the letters, and that's how I feel about
Woo!
it.
Shots fired.
And that's how I feel about you.
There he goes.
Ah,
There he goes.
But we will see what happens.
He's rolling now. He's rolling.
I'm just saying.
Team ADD. I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna bring it in.
You know how it is. It's always this. Oh, Florida dance. Utah lost to us last year. Went on to play in the Pac-12 championship. We'll see. Because
Back to back.
Because if you got Tigers behind your name, that being LSU or Clemson, I don't know if they feeling too good right now.
Right.
And I know we got to play one of them.
All right,
we're gonna bounce back. And I know Jadarius Perkins decided to move on to greener pastures. Man, wishing him nothing.
all right. Let's start there. We're gonna start there. First of all, Perkins has hit the transfer portal. I'm not going to address any of the rumor mill along with that because none of it's substantiated and I've heard enough of it already today. So, but he is in the transfer portal and he oddly did wish Dan Mullen and company well, and then he left out current coaches and staff, but that's his choice. We wish him well to the transfer portal, off to better things. Good luck to him. But talk to me. And Ben, we're going to go there first because we haven't discussed much of Austin Armstrong's defense, and you're the perfect guy to talk to us. And I want to start with the defensive line because there's been a lot. If you're going to break down any sort of weakness there, it's the push from the defensive line and, backup, start a quarterback. What's his name? Bryce or whatever the hell it was. I can't remember right now, but he had way too much time to throw the ball and he's not that good. He looked a lot better. Gators made him look better than I think he really is. Now, if Cam Rising's back there, I think we had a little bit of story, but point is, talk to me about the defensive line because a lot of the knock has been they're bigger, but they're slower. Do you agree or disagree with that, Ben Troupe?
I disagree with it because I think sometimes we wait on the end of the game to try to decide what players did or didn't do. The first play from scrimmage was 70 yards, right? Total passing for the game was 165. That's for the whole game. Utah passed for 165. So listen, take away 70. That's less than 165 passing yards in today's college football. That's elite. That is like shutting people down. Yeah. I think the thing is, you don't always got to get.
They converted. That was a big difference.
But I will say this: people saw that Princeton was going up against a freshman tackle. If you are starting as a freshman in college, that means you are ready coming out of high school. That means you're elite. But the D line still did their job. I think what happens is we let the overall score affect what. I think they had barely over 100 yards. They didn't even have 300 yards total yards the whole game. The second half, they put on a clinic. I just think that sometimes first game jitters, I get it. I think we have such now I will say this, past D-line, the calls still keep coming in slow. Like you can tell when guys are looking around, I think that has to improve, but I think Coach Armstrong did an incredible job. We had a freshman at safety. We had a freshman starting. Yes, like I said, the first game with the first play of the game, that's not the reason why you lost. I think what happens is our offense didn't play complementary offense. I think Eugene Wilson is going to be I think he is going to be a star.
He's starting this week.
But I think
he is on the depth chart.
I think the thing is,
Starting.
Coach Armstrong, if you're listening, sir, please keep doing what you're doing. On the road, I don't know what the altitude was. I'm not blaming it on
3,200 and change.
But at the end of the day, you lost to the number 14 team in the country without their starting quarterback, without a running game. Special teams did not show up, right? And you had some calls that hurt you. Some calls that hurt you. Special teams didn't show up, running game, and you still had an opportunity to go out there and get it done. Shamar James, sir, please keep playing what you're playing.
Please keep playing like that.
And I think the thing is, it's Coach Armstrong's first game as a D coordinator too, right? Like he goes, it's okay for him to be nervous. He went from being on the staff to being. I like what they did. I think that what Florida is going to have to understand is that front four, you got to make them quarterbacks step up in the pocket. You can't let them get outside the pocket. You can't let them dictate terms. I think they did that. I really, really think they did that. We look at it as, I will say this: third down efficiency didn't exist for neither team. Neither team understood you got to keep drives moving on third down. But I think that for an overall defense, D-line will improve, led by Princely. I think those guys being able to shut down the run and they made them one-dimensional. It's just that if you can't move the ball on offense, that makes your defense think, hey man, we got to make a play. We got to cause a forced fumble, get in the end zone. But even with everybody knew that the defense is going to have to play well and let our offense till it got going. Well, Mers went out there and did something he's never done in college. He's never done what he did, last Thursday. I'm not going to blame any one person. We win as a team, lose as a team. I just think that complementary offense makes defense play, but they played good though. It's just as a former player, if the first play from scrimmage is a bomb, that deflates the whole squad, not just the defense. And I'm not making excuses. I just think that at the end of the day, we lost. It happens, and buddy, you know this. When you're the only game on TV, you're gonna get a lot more criticism. You're the only thing on. There's no other games, but I still like our fight. I still like the fact that them boys still stayed for the fights. Little stuff like not moping, not holding your head. And I know Jadarius Perkins left not because he felt a certain type of way. He knows, man, if I play safety and they got a freshman, I'm not going to play.
Well, he was pissed about that.
And look, and at the same time, we didn't go to practice, right? I guarantee you Billy Napier doesn't play favorites. The best players,
of course,
will play. And at the same time, people think because I've been there longer, if it's close between a veteran and a freshman, I'm gonna go with the freshman. And that's just how I'd rather let the freshman go out there and figure it out. But shout out to
especially this year. Of
course, shout out. But Coach Armstrong, he called a hell of a game, man. I'm telling you, a team being under 300 total yards, passing and rushing when one play was 70, that you can't ask for anything more. I just think that when the offense, that's why I say when the offense is teetering, can't run the ball, and special teams ain't a weapon, it looks like the defense played bad. They did not.
Well, the amount of time that you're on the field matters, especially on defense. And you get tired at altitude. That's going to wear them out. They did a good job at spreading it out, especially in the fourth quarter, making them run and chase people down, getting them more tired. I agree. I think I called a good game. Buddy, you haven't talked much about defense. And
I was waiting. I just wanted to make sure.
You're still pissed about the Atlanta Braves hat.
I'm not pissed. I don't even care about the Atlanta Braves hat.
All right.
Before we get to Buddy Rick, 333 passing yards for Florida, 13 yards rushing. Yeah. You can't win like that.
You can't win like that.
13 yards rushing.
And Billy's addressing.
All right. Y'all are so wrong on everything you said.
I haven't said anything.
Everything you said, you're wrong.
Okay.
Number one.
There we go.
You got to get to the quarterback, all right? You have to have a defense that gets to the quarterback, and that's not the defensive line, by the way. It's the linebackers, it's the package, whatever. Armstrong did call a good game, but let's tell it like it is. It was his first game. Yeah, after the play was over, he did okay, but he kind of failed in the first play of his career at Florida. Okay,
Yikes.
I'll cut him that slack. I'll give him that slack, whatever. But there's some other issues here we got to talk about. First of all, I'm giving Billy Napier a mulligan. We've been pretty hard on him, and it's time to stop and think about this. Who had the worst night of these people, or worst game? Brian Kelly, Dabo Sweeney, or Sonny Dykes? They all had worse days in opening games than Billy Napier did, okay?
Yes.
So think about that. And so the truth is, Gator fans had just started to buy into this. This is my column tonight. Buying in a little bit, saying, I'm getting excited. You said national stage, man. That's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Of
You got
course.
the whole football world right there in front of you. Time to shine, brother. You don't come out of there and get your butt beat on the first play of the game. But the other thing is that, just so you know, my friend Shane Matthews has a pretty good knowledge how to play the game.
You always go with the Shane Matthews.
I do. And this stat. This will get you, all right? Y'all think you know something about it? How did Mertz do? This is his stats. Graham Mertz is the fourth quarterback in school history to throw for 300-plus yards, 30 completions, and complete over 70% of his passes. So I think that's a pretty good night on Graham Mertz. Yeah.
I know one of them on that list.
Yeah. All right. Go. Let's see how many we can get. Who else?
I know Rex Grossman is one.
Got it. There's two others.
Shane Matthews.
Nope.
Chris Lee.
Nope.
Danny Werfel.
Nope. Y'all know so much about quarterbacks. How come you don't know
Tim
that?
Tebow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Tim Tebow, Rex Grossman, Kyle Trask.
Bingo. Took you long enough. So I would say that's pretty good company right there.
It is.
So Mertz had a good night. And Shane says, never mind about running the football. When the numbers are against you, when you got the extra guy in the box, you can't run the football. All right. So what do? You throw the football. Okay. He says, fling it, pass it, stop trying to run when you have no place to run. Okay. That's his opinion. I agree somewhat with that. So on your, to the matter of the stats and the matter of here's last year's stats against Utah. All right. Utah against the Gators, 5.9 yards per rush, 8 for 13 on third down. This year, 3.5 per rush, which says the defense is pretty good, and 3 for 13 on third down. So comparing those two, a lot different. Anyway, the point being that I think I'm going to give Billy this one. He owned up to it. He even said it's fair criticism when we make these mistakes. And I think that's more than we heard from the last few coaches. I mean, Mother would never say that. McElwain would never say that, and even Muschamp. So I'm going to give Billy this one. I'm standing behind him on this deal and say I expect him to play really well Saturday night. Brenden, you'll be there. I will not. I'll be there.
Of course I will be there.
And then
the hell?
It's all about what
they do.
What's it about, man? It's about beating Tennessee. Beat Tennessee, all given, come home, back to square one, and a good season still in.
I think it's beat Tennessee, but I think you've got to, before you beat Tennessee, I think it's important to have a really good, solid game on Saturday. I think you got to beat McNeese State.
That's a given.
Well, I mean, it's not a given. It's not. It's just not a given.
It's a given that they have to do it.
Look, I get it. I mean, I know you're giving him a mulligan, and I'm supposed to just follow in line because my last name is Martin. But maybe because I was at the game. I just saying, look, I've got to see.
I was at the game. Okay.
Yeah, I was at the game. Wow. You were at home eating bonbons. I was busy at the damn game.
A long time ago.
Well, you sure acted like you were a damn expert. Okay. Every time you wrote your column, I had to read it. Look, I'm just trying to say that I just got to see a little better communication. I got to see those 100 coaches in sync. I got to see a little bit better personnel change because right now, if I'm McNeese State, this is what I'm doing all practice. I'm working on getting people to jump off sides. I'm working on different wrinkles, formations, have the exchange personnel quickly, different punt coverage, different. I'm changing it all up because that's a good way to force these coaches to come in and do different things. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Because a lot of those things, I'm not going to stop. Reiterating what I have been saying is that I felt that a lot of these were practice mistakes, coaches' mistakes, communication mistakes, and you got 100 coaches. I've been saying that since the beginning of the year or the beginning of last year. It's a lot of coaches. A lot of things got to happen. If you've been on a sideline, you've been on a sideline at any time in your life, shit gets chaotic, crazy fast. Wow. So, you've got to be able to have a succinct system of how you get players in and out, that you don't have 2 number 3s in the field, yada yada yada. We've been talking about it all week.
All right, but you would have had 2 21s anyway.
But hold on. But even stick with what you and Brenden said. We can admit that Florida didn't play well. Think about this. We can admit they did not play well.
They played terrible.
But hold on, and not playing well against the 14th team in the country. That's still going to be in the mix of it when you talk about the Pac-12.
When Cam Rising's back in.
Defense, 3 of 13. You gave up three third downs out of 13.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You gave up a 70-yard bomb, which would have meant for the rest of the game, you didn't give up over 100 yards passing. This is called not playing well, right? 270 total yards. Florida lost because we know this. And I'm not picking on Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen couldn't run the football, didn't even try to run it. If Florida can't run the ball now, it's going to be a long day because you realize, see all the 333 yards, it didn't mean anything because you can't move the chains with them big uglies. I'm telling you, if Florida played bad and lost 24-11 to the 14th rank, and that's probably going to be their worst game of the year as far as you got to feel good about it. If Mr. Armstrong's first game in Florida's history was on the road against Utah, and I gave up less than 300 yards, I got to feel, and I get it. Sapp and company, they came out and said, "Dude, we got to rush the passer better." We know that. But at the same time, I'll take 3 for 13 any day. I know Shane and Buddy and I want everybody to be critical because you Florida, you're supposed to get a bunch of criticism, a bunch of it. But guess what? At the end of the day, McNeese State, we're gonna get to work on some stuff. But buddy, I 13 yards rushing. When's the last time Florida had 13?
I don't know if ever. I tried to find the stat. I couldn't find that stat. That's a pretty bad stat. Net 13 yards rushing all game.
So all I'm saying is Graham Mertz has proven, hey. Oh, and you said this too, buddy. And people went past this last week. You said Utah's defense is really, really good. You said they're really, really good. And they are. Right? Yeah. I think that if Graham Mertz can keep that momentum, the way he's getting that rapport with them receivers, and they find a way to run the ball, man, and that defense will get right. I just want to say this. When the last time in the last 2 years Florida special teams has been a weapon? What happened to Florida special teams? We used to win games because of it. So
I don't know. Let's ask the special teams coach.
Don't get me started on that. Okay, I'm trying to be nice.
100 coaches.
I've given him a mulligan. I've gone through this. I got to do a spot. Sorry, stand by.
Oh boy,
tighten it. Well, we do have to get our bills paid.
Well, I know, but you don't have to get all high and mighty about it.
Okay, we'll do it.
All right, you're not going to do it?
No.
We're going to lose thousands of dollars right now?
You told me not to get high and mighty, so
I will say, Titan MRI is your number one MRI facility here in Gainesville, Florida. You don't have to have an appointment. You just go up and see them. Titan MRI walk-in service are one of the premier MRI companies anywhere in Central Florida. Check them out at titanmri.com. I mean, that's just off the top of my head. I mean, that's badass, buddy. Don't you feel like that's pretty good?
See, hundreds of patients are visiting our Gainesville location from Ocala, Savannah, Georgia. No, wait, that's where it is. Ocala.
I'm going to come to Savannah.
Marion County, and the village is titanmri.com. Thank you. Next, please. Check.
Okay. That's solid. Listen, so we're all over the board. I get it. I don't think we talk a whole lot of scheme about McNeese State. I think we probably can look ahead. But what needs to happen this week to have, because you're, good 10 days out from Tennessee. That's what it's all about. You beat Tennessee some way, shape, or form. All is forgiven, right? Mm-hmm. Now, how do you beat Tennessee with this current personnel?
I think the thing about this personnel now is, it's still yet to be determined. No one knows what no one has week one. No matter how good or bad you played, I can say this though. When you think about, we said coming to the season, what do we want to see? How was the linebacker core going to be? Shamar James looks to be the part. I know he can't do it by himself, right? And then the thing about it is, Coach Armstrong is going to get better week in and week out as far as like play call and getting because people think I don't like all these super duper, like wordy type defenses. Just give me the call quick so I can adjust to what the offensive defense is doing to check.
So you're saying he's confusing about making the calls too long, huh? That's what I heard. That's what I heard, Brenden.
That's not what I'm saying, buddy. It's like this. Give me the call quick. Like, give it to me quickly.
Fast.
So I want the call quick so I can, because I got to see stuff.
Blitz. That's all you need to say.
And I'm telling you this. Most really, really good teams, and I think Florida's going to be one of them, they don't got a lot of calls. They just run a lot of plays out of certain calls. They run a lot of different formations because, like I said, you got to build momentum every week. And I think with this personnel, you want a guy, you ain't looking down the road. It's hard to not look down the road with what Joe Milton and company did this weekend. It's 1 week, and we are ebb and flow fans. I don't care what, if they're good, we're good. We got to be middle of the road. I think they'll be fine. I really, really do, because like I said, just imagine this, buddy. What would you rather think about this? Just say Florida loses, but they ran the ball well, and Graham Mertz looked awful. Do you know what we will be saying? Right? Oh my God, he ain't the one. No, he is the one. We just didn't run the ball well. I think that this team will be fine. I just know that they're gonna have to. It's a quarter by quarter game. They're gonna have to find a way. But even if the offense and defense do play well, and I'm trying to stay away from it, special teams. My goodness, it's gonna have to. Something's gonna have to. I don't know what they're gonna have to do.
Practice it. Let's start there.
I think they do practice it, but I just know that. When criticism to me is people that don't know what the hell they're talking about, just talking about.
But wait a minute now, Ben. Hold it. You act like you know something about the game. Oh, wait, you did play. And let me just say this. At least one guy, Brenden, remembers him. So he's pretty good, right?
Pretty good. Would you like to hear from him?
Hey, man, who y'all finna fire him up, huh?
No, we're going to – look, we got a bite from Ron Zook. I think it's probably – somewhere in the right spot. I don't know, but I'm going to cue it up. Here we go. Let's hear from the Zooker.
What could you tell our viewers about Ben Troupe?
Ben Troupe he's a classy, first of all, he's a good, really, really, really good football player. Tough guy from Georgia, but I'm going to tell you, he is a classy guy. He's a winner. He's about people. He's about what makes coaching football fun and what it's about, because you watch how Ben has developed and the success that he's had. He's written a book and God's sakes, he's a great person. He really is.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach Zook, for spending time with us. This is Loren Meadows with GatorBait. You guys have a good evening. Thank you, Coach.
Well, wow. I guess somebody got some accolades there. It wasn't me, Brenden. Did you get any? I didn't get any. Who got that accolade?
Well, the Troopster.
Yes, he did.
Man,
I feel like you got a little misty there, Ben. You got a little misty. That was pretty solid.
I will say this about Ron Zook, man. I think when you play a sport your whole life, and I can speak for a lot of players when I say this, the one person you want to impress is your head coach, because they've seen it all and done it all. I mean, Ron Zook was a special teams coach. When Coach Spurrier won in '96, he was a special teams coach then. And it's like, when the method to his madness is hard to understand when you're 20 and 21 years old, trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with him. But then you see that what he's trying to do is he's saying, man, I'm trying to get you ready for life. Football is only a small portion of, what you do. But man, Ron Zook know what it is, man. I appreciate the kind words, man. And it's almost like you want to live long enough to see your coach say those things about you. Because, I mean, when Ron Zook first got to Florida, man, it was me and him had a roller coaster ride because you know how it is, buddy. When who replaces the GOAT? Who replaces Steve Spurrier? And when it was Ron Zook, I was like, Ron Zook. And it's not like I didn't think he was the guy for the job. I'm thinking they're going to get another, big name. But
They tried.
But he is the coach. I say this all the time. Steve Spurrier was the coach I chose. Ron Zook was the coach I needed. I needed him as a person and a player. And to just hear him say those type of things, man, it do something to you because he was rough, man. He did not. I will say this, and people can get mad at me. In 2006, when Florida won their first natty, a bunch of those boys got recruited by Zook. I'm not saying.
No, yeah, that's true. That's very
true. I'm not
true.
saying Urban wouldn't have won it. But Chris Leak, Ray McDonald, Joe Cohen, Jarvis Moss, I'm Dallas Baker, and the list goes on and on. A lot of them boys was there with us. So I'm happy for him, though, man. Went on to go to Illinois, was on TV, got to be an analyst.
Awesome at Illinois.
Yeah, but I think the thing about a guy like Ron Zook beat Florida State his last year, but he lost to Mississippi State. I think that's the only SEC win they had that year. But, man, now you know what it is, man. I appreciate what he did for me. And he always said, he would always tell me, if people only remember you for what you did as a football player, he would say, you have wasted your time. You have wasted your ability. He would say, you have wasted your purpose. And when you're 20 years old, you're like, man, but you realize what he meant by that stuff now. So, I love him, man. That joker there was hell, boy. He was hell. With the play for him, he was like, he was a perfectionist. And I thought it was just for us, the players, but players, coaches, training staff, equipment men. If you worked upstairs, I don't know how he was with the media, buddy, but he was rough when it come to us. But you realize the method to his madness now. But I'm happy to see him doing well, man. I mean, that dude didn't drink no coffee, and he ain't get a lot of sleep. But he said his dream was to be the head coach of Florida. And for 3 years, he got to do it, man. Most people won't even get that distinction. So shout out to the Zook.
Well said.
All right. Well said, Ben Troupe. Listen, we've got the green room loaded up. Loren Meadows, the Iron Duke, Franz Beard's in there. We got to take a quick timeout. We're going to hear from Meldon Law. We're going to be back with more Ben Troupe, more Buddy Martin, unfortunately more me, right after we hear from our friends at Meldon Law.
Getting back to Swamp Kings, I think I was impressed. I really didn't understand how hard he worked, how hard Urban Meyer worked at getting that team ready to compete in the SEC and on a national stage.
You think maybe Gator fans will value their championship legacy just a little bit more now?
I hope so. I never got it. I didn't understand why people didn't say, take Urban at his word when he said he was really sick. I understand that he went back, to Ohio State, but he did take a year off and do his ESPN thing. And, it's in your blood when you're a college coach. It's almost like you're willing to sacrifice your life in order to have the ability to lead a team to a national championship.
No doubt. I'm going to issue an invitation to you right now. Urban's coming to Gainesville the week of Vanderbilt. And I'm going to take him out to Spurrier's for Bite to Eat, and you're invited. How's that sound?
I would love to do that. I actually, his daughters both won the Meldon Law TV 20 Scholar Athlete.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
And so we got to know the family a little then. And, I'll tell you, Urban really should be admired by Gator fans, and they should understand that he was here for 6 years? 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
6 years. Nowadays, that's a long time in a coach's career, right? And they're like, oh, he jilted us. It was like, my girlfriend dumped me,
Oh, Jeffrey Meldon, we talk over those 5 minutes. You never mentioned law one time.
Yeah. So anyhow, we are really excited at Meldon Law. We've been getting a lot of calls from people who already have cases that are asking us for second opinions.
Yeah.
And I think
want to talk to you about that next time we're on the air.
Melded Law. And hey, listen, tomorrow is Best Fridays in Football.
Best Fridays in Football. Urban Meyer tomorrow morning.
We're going to get Urban Meyer.
Heard only here on this channel, nowhere else.
That's tight. Yeah, so we're going to have that. We will be posting that probably tomorrow around 5 or 6 o'clock.
Hey, it's Francis and Loren are here. They're both here at the same time. That's a treat. Good to see you guys.
Magic of TV.
How you guys doing?
Loren, we just played your interview with the Zooker, and Ben got misty.
Wait! I can't see Loren. Where's Loren?
I saw that.
I don't know how to fix
he's
that.
He's hiding under the desk or something. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's up above that fan. Okay, I see him now. There he is. Hi, Loren.
Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Hi, Franz. By the way, Franz, I see you. Just so you know, I
spoke to him already.
I don't think he felt. I wanted to personally welcome Franz in, the hardest working man in the show business, into the show. In fact, I'm going to put you in the middle spot, Franz, just like that, because we're like the Brady Bunch right now. We're all just connected right there. Here's
like
a story
Squares
about a man named Franzie.
I thought it was Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares.
One of us is the secret square.
You're the secret square.
I'm Paul in.
I just moved, so my office said I can't show much behind me because my office still.
Yeah, I got my office is under construction right now. I can't talk about it right now. My people, they don't like it. All right, listen. So we've got this, Brain Trust on the show, which is a pretty powerful group of people. So let's try to keep it, somewhat, past the hot football or potato.
Can I ask one question real fast? How much did you get from Ben Troupe to choreograph that question on Ron Zook? He must have paid you, Loren.
I know Ben's a fan favorite, so I figure I had to throw one in there for my guy. Right. I know him and the Zooker are tight, and Ben's my dude, so I figured I'd throw it out there.
All right. Let me throw one in for my guy, Franz Beard. I want to throw one in for him.
On the re-up. I get it from Ben on the re-up next time I see him.
Francis, talk to me, Francis. Tell me something about this football team. I just said I'm giving Billy Napier a mulligan.
Don't have to give him a mulligan. He's gonna be the coach here for a while.
No, but I mean in terms of fan attitude, because there are 3 guys I know of who had worse days. You can probably figure out who they were. Brian Kelly would be one. I'll give you a hint on that. Who else do you think it was? Dabo Swinney was one.
Yeah.
And who else, Franz?
Shane Beamer.
No. Well, Beamer, not so much, but I'm thinking of Sonny Dykes more at TCU.
Well,
so anyway.
Shane Beamer had a rotten day.
Well, so 4, but I mean, we're not talking about some of these guys were ranked nationally. But I think South Carolina's been the most overrated team in the preseason there. And, I'm tired of hearing about South Carolina. By the way, we're also tired of hearing about LSU. Go away. Brian Kelly, go get your team ready, all right? All right, I'm done.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, so I think we should touch on McNeese State a little bit, because they are the opponent
you
on
did
Saturday.
it. There we are.
Okay, next, please.
That's good. No,
I was just about to say, I'm done. Let's talk about the new LED lights that's going to be in the swamp. Probably be more interesting. But here's an interesting question. What does Billy and the Gators need to do on Saturday other than win by 35? And do you think they come out and dominate? I think it's a legit question.
I don't think there's any doubt they're going to dominate. The one thing they've got to do is they've got to eliminate the silly little mistakes. That's a game Florida wins 28-7 without silly mistakes. Should have won it that. You go into a game, you expect 1 or 2 always. I mean, you can't have a football game without somebody pulling a monumental screw up somewhere. And fortunately, if you're lucky, your team covers it up and it doesn't amount to anything. But it doesn't change the fact that it shows up. Doesn't change the fact that it shows up on the tape. And Ben's been there when you make a monumental screw up, you win the game 56-0, and you pull this monumental screw up. Somebody covers your butt, but then comes film day, and damn good and well that some coach is going to say, yeah, see what old Troupe did there? Isn't he lucky somebody covered his butt? You know, and everybody who's played the game's been there. I mean, I'm not singling Ben out. Ben knows what I'm talking about. But every single person who's ever played the game has been there. But you don't go into a game expecting 3 monumental screw ups on special teams. You don't go in there expecting, your offensive line to be just totally out of it. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that Kingsley was not there, and Jake Slaughter making his first start in, really his first serious game action ever in a hostile place, can't hear, can't do anything. And I've been told by somebody who I think knows that probably 80% of Florida's inability to run had to do with bad line calls. A guy getting in there totally confused, doesn't know what to do. People can't hear him, whatever like that. They're used to a certain voice, and then that voice is not there.
That's a very good point, Franz. Very good point.
And I think this is probably the guy
that Sammy?
He didn't like your comments, buddy.
Oh, he didn't like Brandon's comments.
I think the guy who will make the biggest improvement that we will see from week 1 to week 2 will be Jake Slaughter. He's going to be the starter again at center. Kingsley's still out. We don't know how long he's going to be out. But Jake Slaughter has to have a great game, because I guarantee you the big bad Vols are coming to town next week. And if he hasn't improved exponentially, and Kingsley can't play, we are in deepest and darkest, because that defensive line for the Vols, they can say what they want about that offense. That defensive line was what impressed me in their first game against Virginia. They have a really well-coached, big, fast defensive line that's going to be a trouble for anybody they play. So, and that's a better defensive line from what I saw than what I saw from Utah. So, this is what's going to happen. Guys like Jake Slaughter have to. This is their game. This is their game to get their act together, so to say, to get their brains back, to get their confidence back, etc. There's nothing like a D1 AA team to get your confidence back, right, Ben?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that sometimes when you talk about these teams like McNeese State, I know we got UNC Charlotte coming into town. I think you said it too, Franz, when you start talking about things that things that happen to Florida don't happen to a lot of teams. Like monumental things happen on special teams back to back to back. 70-yard bomb, first play from scrimmage. Like if I'm a safety ever, first play of the game, I'm backing up. I'm not even in the screen. The camera guy like, where is this? You're not throwing it over my head. That's the only way they can score. And I think when it comes to this Florida team, you just got to breathe. Like sometimes coaches you call a timeout in football for the same reason you call it basketball. Man, we need to just breathe a little bit. Like, but I will say this, Shamar James, boy, he's gonna be a player, and Eugene Wilson's gonna be a player. I think the thing about Florida is we lost to the 14th ranked team without Cam Rising. I get it. You played ugly, but 3 of 13 on defense, 3 of 13, but our offense 1 for 13. 13 yards rushing, and you said this, Loren. You said, look, man, if we can't run the football, it's going to be a long day. I didn't know it was going to be like that. Like 13. So I just think for me, with Florida, sometimes, look, the playbook go from this. The playbook gets smaller as the year goes on because you're only using the plays that work. Why even work on the ones that don't? Simplify it. Get back to the basics. But I will say this, Graham Mertz, like what you're doing, sir. Because like I said, people don't like to talk about Ricky Pearson. Ricky Pearson always nice, man. This boy, he is a route runner.
I hate those damn short pants, though. I hate those pants. And I want to say something.
That man trying to show off his
You know what?
hamstring.
I thought we had a little agreement about this, and Billy said, don't wear different kind of socks, okay? Why didn't they wear these damn short pants around like they're Bermuda shorts? I don't get it.
Buddy,
I'm
if we
sorry,
go,
I
buddy,
don't
if
get
we go, buddy, if we go back in the day when you and the missus on the beach, you out there showing
Yeah,
off
but
the
I'm not
hammies.
playing
You out
football.
there
I'm on the beach.
You out there with the
Yeah,
Daisy Dukes on,
yeah,
and somebody
yeah.
goes, "I see
I
you,
don't want
buddy."
to see
You're
it.
like,
I don't
"Yeah,
want to see
I'm
Daisy
working
Dukes on a football field. Okay, please.
It's for the ladies. It's for the ladies, buddy.
Lauren, you know what I'm talking about. You feel the same way about it, don't you, Lauren?
Yeah, I mean, I skirted the knee a little bit with my pants when I was
Sure you
playing
did.
too, but
Had them
yeah, I
colored
mean, I was
shoelaces and all that
even
stuff.
even down on the field. I was like, man, those are really short.
Those
I was
are really
like,
short.
I was
That's
just
like
I
tidy
I
whities there, man.
I kind of
Wow.
made my I kind of made my living at Ohio Northern going over the middle. That was kind of my role on the team, 3rd and 7.
Hey, Zach, if I saw you in pants and come over the middle, I'm gonna knock your hand off. Okay.
Yeah, so I needed a little bit more padding, down.
Yeah.
Down the way. But
I hate
I mean, I think that, like everybody's saying, man. I mean, I'm not ready for the whole mulligan thing. I mean, it's a new week, and
No, we're giving him a mulligan now. We're
It's
giving
a
him
long
mulligan.
season. Like I said, I just don't. I need to see schematically a little bit more progression, and that's what worries me is I just don't know. And obviously, I'm not in the meetings and things like that. I just don't know. I need to know what they're trying to accomplish, because so many times you only see 2 guys go out for routes, or you see 2 guys in the same area. You see a swing route, and then a drag route is like 3.5 yards away from the swing route, and you're like, what's the quarterback reading there? And I mean, it's some of that stuff that maybe it was communication. I know now it's signaling everything from the sidelines, wristbands, and everything else. So maybe that was it. So, I mean, from that standpoint, but, I've been pretty hard on the Gators, particularly Coach Napier this week. And, Saturday's a new day. And we'll see what happens. But, McNeese State, they got a quarterback that can run around a little bit. That could be a little concerning just because we didn't seem to tackle the change of pace guy that they brought in for Utah.
Get the Tarleton State game plan.
Yeah. So, just I think we need to go out and just play sharp, man. Try to be sharp. Just be sharp in all 3 phases, and then you get to hit the drawing board again next week and get ready for Tennessee.
All right, now I'm going to ask y'all to be sharp right here. We're going to give a couple of messages. I'm going to come back to you guys. I want a little round robin here. Think about this. I'm going to read a few shout outs to our friends on the program tonight. If they beat McNeese State and beat Tennessee, is it all forgiven? And what kind of year can Florida have from that point on? Think about it. I'm coming right back to you, but you got a couple of notes here on people I want to talk to. Well, Neo, whoever he is, says Florida should score over 50 Saturday. I agree with that. Let's see. Robert Turner, Georgia Southern beat us. Yeah, we know about that. Don't bring that up anymore. Let's see. Hopefully Hurricane Lee doesn't end up delaying Tennessee. That's a beast, that hurricane. Hope it doesn't hit her anywhere. Franz, do you remember Franz? Let's see, what is he talking about here? He says the Tennessee game in 1990, we had 3 consecutive mistakes in a row. Well, of course, it'd be in a row if they're consecutive, starting in the second half, and it sunk us. Okay,
I guess 45-3.
Yeah. So you remember that pretty well.
Yeah.
Finally, let's get this from. Let's see. We were talking about complaining about the. All right, Nat Blaylock, everybody. The mayor used to be mayor of what? Now he's the mayor of North Alachua. Yeah. I don't know. I gave you the name. I should know that. I don't know the procedure, but somehow there must be fundamentals in punting so as not to kick it off to the side of your foot by 25 yards. It's a reasonable point, and that was not good. It hurt him.
Every punter in the country will have at least one shank this year.
Yeah, that happens.
Just don't have it on my watch, okay? I don't want to see.
Well, I don't care who you are as a punter. I saw Ray Guy shank, and
it happens.
It happens.
Okay. I shanked one time. All right, I will say I shanked the putt once.
But let's face it. He shanked it, and it only cost the Gators 3 points. That was the important thing. Was it only cost the Gators 3 points on that one? The other two special teams mistakes cost touchdowns.
You don't get that kind of stuff anywhere else. Go ahead. I'm gonna get these questions. Go ahead.
No, Franz said Ray Guy. You know where Ray Guy is from?
Yeah, he's from Thompson, Georgia.
No, sir. He's from here. Where is it at? You see that? He's from Swainsboro, just like me. That's where he's from.
Yeah, but his high school played his high school football at Thompson.
He moved to Augusta, just like me. Listen, I'm not comparing me to Ray Guy, by the way. I'm just saying he is from Swainsboro.
Yeah. He couldn't play tight end, but he was one hell of a safety.
Hey, listen, Ray, never, but he rests in paradise. Never met him when he was alive. But I'm like, Ray Guy from the borough.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to do this. Buddy don't like this. Buddy don't like this. Before Franz and Loren came on, I got to do it one more time.
Oh no, can we not do that again?
Got to cover that up.
You just can't have that anymore.
By the way, John Madden did say that Ray Guy was the best safety on his team, but he said he was too valuable as a punter. He couldn't risk an injury to him to play.
Look at Buddy. Look at Buddy. People gonna think, but they're gonna think Buddy's stomach hurt.
It does hurt. I'm about to throw up. So. All right.
Can we just talk about the shorts really fast?
Can I get my question in, please?
Can we just? I know we did. I just want to talk about the shorts. The tidy whities is buddy.
Wait a minute. Whose name is on this show?
I don't know. Half of mine is, and you guys keep mentioning my middle name was Sharp. So you know.
Okay, here's the deal. I have a question on the floor, and as soon as we address that, we'll move on. Okay. I asked these gentlemen to tell me if they win on Sunday and win against Tennessee, is all forgiven. And what do you think's left in terms of hope and promise for the Gators? Can we get that in? A real quick round. Give me 15 seconds apiece.
I think the Gators are going to, I am still bullish on the Gators. I think the Gators are going to have a good season. I'm not sure 8 wins. I thought 8, but I think they're a 7-win team, and I really believe that. After the defense, I think is going to have to carry them for a lot of the year because I think they've got things they've got to get straightened out offensively, and particularly if Kingsley is unable to play for a protracted period of time, then Jake Slaughter's got to. In the immortal words yesterday of Tyreek Sapp, he's got to look down and grab some.
Wow.
Okay, that's 15 seconds. Next, please.
I would say that, I mean, all is not forgiven. It would be a good win and obviously a good springboard to get into where the teeth of the schedule is, getting into October and things like that. I think it would definitely do them well to get that win at home and then head to Lexington for a little get back, which I think is a must win as well. So all is not forgiven. I would personally still be a little skeptical, but it'd be a step in the right direction.
What's happened to my people here who used to love the Gators? You're all bashing them. Come on, man. Come on. What do you mean? They beat Tennessee. They're on their way.
I think in the world of Florida Gator fans now, I think we getting too much from the Twitter sphere, social media. But will all be forgiven? No. Will all be forgotten? Yes. They ain't gonna forgive it, but they'll move on because I think the thing about it is we're a week by week team. But if we beat Tennessee, it's gonna make them look at Utah a little bit differently. Because right now that's all they got. Beat Tennessee, you can kind of maybe look back on and say, okay, it was the first game jitters or something like that. But forgiveness in Florida, that don't even go together. Forgiveness, man, please. You couldn't pay him to do it.
Your witness, Brenden.
Tennessee's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to talk about that first. I mean, I'm having some Publix popcorn chicken because I work too damn much. But, I mean, last I checked, Tennessee's pretty strong. We're talking about beating Tennessee right now, and we just lost to Utah and without Cam Rising and the tight end. So, I don't know. To me, right now, I'm with you, Loren. That's not really much of a conversation. I think right now you just hope to play him close. because I'm still holding my breath that I don't know what squad's going to take the field against McNeese State. So maybe I played too much football, or maybe I played too much, but you can't look past anybody right now if you're the Florida Gators, including McNeese
Too much
State.
music, is what you play.
I agree.
Let's see how well you play against them. Because I saw some games last year against South Florida and some other teams that were supposed to be blowouts. They weren't blowouts. This team needs to show up this Saturday. Screw Tennessee. Beat McNeese State by 35. Hold them to 6 points. Prove to the Swamp that you're supposed to be there and that you're a decent club. And then we'll talk about Tennessee, because right now, if you're going to tell me, are they going to beat Tennessee on 10 days from now after what I saw last Saturday? Hell no, they aren't going to beat Tennessee. Tennessee's going to wipe the floor with them. I don't care if they play in the swamp, around the swamp, up in the swamp. It doesn't matter. This was a bad loss. I'm still not over it, and I need to see a lot of things fixed before we ever have that conversation about beating Tennessee. Tennessee's good.
What Brenden, what time was it? It was probably about 1 a.m. Mountain Time, and we were still sitting there
eating chicken,
trying to eating canes
chicken,
trying to figure out what the deal was. And like I said, I agree. I mean, I don't. I mean, people say, well, you giving up on Billy Napier and giving up on the Gators. You got eyes. You got eyes. And I mean, I think that sometimes you got to use your eyes. And we all know the game in a lot of different ways for different reasons. And like I said, I mean, I hope they get it corrected, because they will need to. And it's got to get corrected fast.
I mean, Loren, maybe it was because you and I sat there literally and had to drive home, had a car full of Gators. We're all sitting there talking. It was not a good night afterwards. It was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to be at the game.
Yeah.
It was definitely hard to be at the game.
It's tough.
And it looked a lot sloppier, I think, being there than maybe it did on TV. And I've watched it twice on television. It looks a little sharper. I think when you're going to commercial break and coming back and all that stuff, I just felt like you and I had a long conversation till about 2 o'clock in the morning with everybody else saying what needs to happen. And that's why I don't want to overlook. I don't think if you're a Gator, you don't overlook anybody right now. That's all I got to say about that.
No, you don't overlook McNeese. As I said earlier, McNeese is a game. McNeese is a game. It's like, take 3 aspirin and call the doctor in the morning. That's what that is. And if you still have a headache, after McNeese, then there's a problem. There really is. But if you can see discernible progress, particularly, and as I said, if Jake Slaughter's the guy that I believe has to have the biggest amount of improvement of anybody on that team. And if he has a really good ball game, because we don't know how long Kingsley's going to be out. Kingsley is, Kingsley's kind of like having that guy on a football team or basketball or baseball team that doesn't have to be the most talented guy there, but he is the guy that when he is there, everybody gravitates, everybody looks at him and says, okay, life's okay. He's here,
All right.
And
all right, we're going to wrap it.
When he gets healthy, then I like us better.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Brenden, call for your last comments. I got a spot here. We're going to wrap up tonight and get ready for tomorrow morning's best Fridays in football, Third Meyer tomorrow. All right, so Brenden, what do you want to do?
Well, no, I just like to go around the horn. I feel like we've talked about a lot of different things tonight. Just give me if you're Billy Napier, what's the one thing you want to see from your ball club on Saturday? One thing. What's the one thing that is the most important thing that you want to see? Offense, defense, special teams, whatever. Start with Loren, go left to right. Loren, you first. What's the one thing that you focus on probably more than anything else?
Continuity on offense. Sharp, efficient, just following the scheme, execution on offense.
All right. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to say thank you, Loren. We're going to hang out with you. We'll talk to you soon. Loren Meadows holding it down. Check him out, GatorBaitMedia.com. That's Round the Horn style. All right. We're going to go to Ben Troupe. Ben Troupe, seriously, what's your one thing that you think, Coach, if you're Coach Napier right now, what are you going to focus on Saturday?
Man, they got to play loose. I can see when I know when the players or team is playing uptight, you can't play loose. We was always told, man, listen, man, you was born loose, you're gonna die stiff. Play loose, man. Because when you playing loose, that means I'm reacting, I'm not thinking. I want to see them play loose on Saturday night.
All right.
Have fun, play loose. Ben
you,
Troupe,
Ben.
check him on 84 Reasons Podcast. Thanks for coming on. Always
Give it that Braves hat next time, okay?
All right,
please?
enough of you two. You guys are done. Okay, Franz Beard, Iron Duke. I would like to hear a little more. I haven't heard from you a lot tonight. So just tell me what's Billy. You've been at press conferences all week. You've heard it. Franz, what do you got to work on?
I want to see a team that plays with righteous anger. And I mean, that is a controlled anger that says we are better than what we showed last week. We have got to pick it up. It's on us. The coaches have done all they can do. Because here's the thing, we tend to forget that once they get on that field, it's on them. You know, coaches make adjustments, whatever like that, but players still have to play. And they need to play with a righteous anger that says this cannot happen again. And they need to go out there, and McNeese State needs to go back to Lake Charles wondering if it was worth the $500,000 to take this kind of a beat.
10 points for There's Lake Charles, as always, Franz Beard. Read him on where, Brenden?
GatorBaitMedia.com. And you know what? He's lead columnist.
He's the guy. He's the dude.
He's the guy.
Senior columnist, lead columnist. He's a dude.
Best guy online or on print. Franz Beard. Check him out. GatorBaitMedia.com. Good night, Mr. Franz. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. There goes the Iron Duke. Buddy, you're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going to make it real short. I have a little different take. I want to see these young receivers. I think this is the time to air it out with these guys. We haven't seen Aiden Mizell. We certainly have seen Trey Wilson, and he looks like he's promising. And so these three guys are flyers. I want to see them. I want to see their backside going to the end zone. So that, along with a few other details, like it's obvious the offensive line's got to play better, and it will. Your take, Brenden, and I'll read the spot.
I'm going to just keep it simple. It's offense and defensive line. I think you got to see a better scheme with both of the. I think you just got to see a little bit more push from the offensive line. We got to see a little bit more push from the defensive line as far as getting in the backfield and pressuring the quarterback. And this is Sammy the Bones.
Sammy, my boy. Love you, Sammy. All right. Renstar Medical Research. Been a supporter of ours for years and years since we did radio. They're a great group of people, stakeholders in downtown Ocala. They are known for their reputation as a high-quality, patient-centered clinical research facility, bringing cutting-edge clinical research trials to Ocala in areas like Alzheimer's, dementia, psoriasis, osteoarthritis, migraine, fibromyalgia, along with many other conditions that affect us right here in our community. Over 700 clinical research trials have been held since they've been there. They continue to partner with prominent pharmaceutical and biomedical companies throughout the medical industry. If you want to be a part of it, go to renstar.net, register. In some cases, you'll be compensated for time and travel. Ready, Brenden?
Renstar Medical
Research. Seeking
tomorrow's answers
to the
health questions of today.
Good night, Sammy. Good night, Brenden. I love you.
Good night, Dad. Love you too. He would be a terrible person to do a rap concert with, just so you know. Wow. It has been a week. And I think, I know we've all been rough on this team. We know we've had our moments. We've had a lot to say, good and bad. We've had a smattering of different opinions. I think it's been strong. I think it's been respectful. I think now, if anything else, you want to see this team strap it on and go play some good football. At the end of the day, I actually am a big Gator fan, and I rarely am down on the Gators. But tonight, I say I wish Billy Napier and the team the best of luck, and I'm looking forward to going to the game. 7:30, first game of the year in the Swamp. That's exciting. Can't go wrong with that. Folks, this will be the last week for this because we can't afford to keep doing it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Join us right now, GatorBaitMedia.com. Use code WINNING. Get 20% off right now. I tell you what, if they win big on Saturday, I'll keep this up there. But if it's a crappy game. I'm not going to keep doing it. All access and at GatorBaitMedia.com. The 20% off right now. It's a smoking deal going on right now. Check it out. Also, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, right down in there, everything's opposite. There's a button right there. Hit that button. Subscribe. Smash. It's all good stuff. We're going to have some pregame coverage at some point. It's generally kind of loose. We'll see how it goes. Stella's got a big soccer game. First game of the year for the Storm. Ocala Premier Soccer. They play this weekend at Ormond Beach. So Stella is excited about that. That's my daughter. So yeah, so what? She gets the pup. Yeah, you gonna quick. See how everyone thinks you're growing up. This is her. She's up late. She's gonna get a rest. Stella's gonna. What position are you, Stella?
Outside backer.
Outside backer. She's badass. All right. Okay, we're done. You're done. Bye. Thank you very much. Okay, and you're done. And you're done. Okay, love you, kid. No, seriously, family show, family deal. We love all you guys and gals. Thanks for joining up. Thanks for subscribing. We hit over 1,400 subscribers on YouTube in 35 days. That's pretty darn impressive. We appreciate all that, and we appreciate everybody being a part of that. Like I said, thanks to everybody for coming and watch the show. We will talk to you soon this weekend. And as always, go Gators.
It's time again for Buddy Martin.